All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Eric Niskern. I am the Executive Director of Recruitment and Enrollment Initiatives here at Widener University, Delaware Law School. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you tonight to our session on inclusion and belonging here at Delaware Law. I am joined by our admissions counselor in the office, Heather Hope Curavilla. Heather Hope could wave so we can see her. She is going to be assisting me on the back end. So she'll be monitoring the chat, making sure that if you post any questions, that we don't miss any, or if you ask for any contact information, or you have any technical difficulties, she will be assisting me with all of that. But tonight is really about having you meet our student affinity group leaders. That is the purpose of tonight. Before I ask each of them to talk a little bit about themselves and their organizations, I want to quickly plug and let you know there's still time to RSVP for our next virtual event, which is this coming Thursday, also at 6 p.m. It will be with our Assistant Dean for Academic Affairs, Dean Joseph Ferris. He'll be joined by student leaders to talk about the Delaware Law student experience in general. So you're welcome to join us and hope that you will join us for that as well. And then on Friday, we have our Admitted Applicants Community Day, which is our on-campus, in-person event. Friday afternoon, we take tours, meet some of the Honor Society and other student group leaders, and hear from some of our faculty who will offer advice and insight on how to put your best foot forward as a first-year student. So you can still RSVP for those events. But tonight, as I said, we are focused on inclusion and belonging at Delaware Law School. And I'm very excited to have some of our student affinity group leaders here with us who are going to talk about those organizations. We will ask you to hold off with any questions until each of the students has presented, and then you can ask questions of any or all of them, either by putting your question in the chat, or you can raise your virtual hand and we'll call on you to speak. So with that, I'm going to start, and I'm going to go in the order that you appear on my screen. And the first person I have is Grace.
Hi, okay. So my name is Grace. I am currently a 3L at Delaware Law School. I'm from Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, went to Wissahickon High School, if people are familiar. I went to Syracuse University and I majored in political science and I minored in communications. Um, and I went straight through. So I graduated college in 2023 and now started law school that following. Um, fall. So I'm the president of the Jewish Law Student Association. And some of the things that we do at Delaware Law is we really just want to make a open space for anyone to come with any beliefs that they may have, if they're culturally Jewish, if they're very religious, whatever they may be. We just like to have open space for everyone. We do have a third party sponsor called Jewish Grad Organization. So they are a group that kind of sponsors a lot of events. They also host a lot of different events and learning sessions throughout the year. Some of these include in the fall, it's called the JAGO Summit. And you can go to DC. They send their student leaders from each school. And it's pretty cool. I've been for 2 years. It's not just law students. It was med students, MBA, dental, vet, from all over the country. And also Canada. So it's a pretty cool event. It's pretty awesome to kind of have an open space for everyone to talk about things that are happening on their campuses and certain events. We also do some community service events every year. One that we have that's upcoming is a holiday for which sponsors the Jewish Relief Agency, which is a nonprofit in the greater Philadelphia area that kind of um, they work to help low income families with food distribution. So to participate in the holiday, we just ask that people bring donations to the holiday and then you can participate. Another thing to note about Jago is that they will sponsor events for the group at school. So like let's say it's a happy hour or a networking event, or it's just getting pizza for a general body meeting or something for Rosh Hashanah or Passover, whatever it may be. Jago will sponsor the event. The only thing to note about that is that all Jago sponsored events are kosher. So yeah, I think that might be everything I have.
Great. Thanks so much, Grace. And we'll again take questions at the end if anybody has questions for you. Next, I have Yasmin.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Yasmin Stewart. I am a 2L here at Delaware Law School. I am from Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, which is right outside of the Philadelphia area. Um, I currently serve as BOLSA's president. BOLSA is the Black Law Student Association. I'm gonna share my screen. So, like I said, BOLSA stands for the Black Law Student Association here at Widener Delaware Law School. Our mission statement is to increase the number of culturally responsible Black and minority attorneys who excel academically, succeed professionally, and positively impact the community. Now, when I say community, it's not just the community in Delaware Law School, but we also do try to impact the Delaware community, Philadelphia area, wherever we can give back and reach out. So, what is BOLSA? We are part of a national Black Law Student Association, which is the largest student-run organization in the United States, founded in 1968 to support, empower, and increase the number of Black and minority students and attorneys. We have over 180 chapters with over 4,000 members to foster that academic success and professional development environment. We have 6 national regions. We are part of the Mid-Atlantic BOLSA, so we're part of MABOLSA, and it's comprised of local chapters in this area. This org is really open to those who identify as African American, Caribbean, or African, focusing on creating a supportive community and professional network, but we also do accept other members who are welcome to join. So some of our events. In the beginning of the semester in the fall, we have our back to school cookout. It's a really big hitter. Everyone comes. It's just a good time, good way to connect with everybody right before classes start or after the first week of school. Then in the month of October, we have our professionalism month, where we partner with our Black Alumni Network, BAN, which I'll talk about in a little bit, where we do headshots and resumes. We have a professionalism fashion show. We do blue booking and outlining tailored to our 1Ls. And then we usually have a workshop of some kind. Then in the spring, we have Black History Month, which is a big thing in the spring semester for us. We started off with our Black History Month kickoff at home base. We had a panel full of, I think, 7 panelists talking about the liberation, laws, and tool of justice, and civil rights in this day and age. Then we end the month with our African American Heritage Dinner. We had a step show this year, and it was just good music, good food, and just community. Then at the end of the year, we have our Trailblazers, where we stole our graduating members and we introduce our new board. Along with our events, we do offer networking opportunities. Being a part of this national organization, we also have a Black Alumni Network, which is Black attorneys who directly graduated from Widener Delaware Law School. So being a member of BOLSA, you will be partnered with a Black alumni who will serve as your mentor for the year. Additionally, you will also receive a student mentor for our 1Ls. It would either be a 2L or 3L. Lastly, just to keep up to date with us and to get the messages, sometimes we do host events over the summer for our incoming 1Ls. Add us on GroupMe, follow us on Instagram, and I hope to see you all in the halls next year. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Yasmin. Next up, I have Dina.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dina. I am from Jamesburg, New Jersey, like the central Jersey area. I went to Rutgers University in New Brunswick and I majored in public health. Not your traditional pre-law major. I was on like a healthcare track, but that didn't work out and I ended up here, which I'm very glad I did make that switch. So I'm the president of the Muslim Law Student Association here at Widener Delaware Law School. And my class actually restarted this organization up again at the law school. It used to be one of the affinity groups on campus, and there's just not many Muslim students, I guess, to keep it running. So this year we brought it back and we hope that it stays around. Um, so some type of events that we do are community service events. Our event is actually today at 7 p.m., so I might have to log off early. That's why I'm in my car right now. But for community service, in the spring, we do a Ramadan iftar, which is the meal that we eat to break our fast during the month of Ramadan. And then last semester in the fall, we had a Friendsgiving food drive event where we did like a Friendsgiving potluck dinner, and everyone also brought food to donate to the Food Bank of Delaware. And we've also partnered with other affinity groups on campus, like also last year we did a multicultural potluck with them, which was really fun. Yeah, so that's about. I think I hit everything. Let me know if I missed anything. But basically, our mission on campus is to just create a welcoming environment for Muslims and also people of other religions and who have other views. We just want to create a sense of community among our campus in order to support everyone.
Great. Thank you so much, Dina. And actually, you brought up a good point for you and for the students that have already spoken. If you're comfortable putting your email address in the chat so that if after tonight, if students want to reconnect or have additional questions, please feel free to do so. Oftentimes after this event, they'll reach out to me and say, hey, I really like what Dina had to say. Can I get in contact with her? So if you can, as you finish your presentation, so Yasmin and Grace as well, if you're comfortable with that, we ask that you put your email address in the chat as well for others to reach out to you. Another point that Dina brought up that I want to also talk about is that our Student Bar Association administers all of the funding on campus for all student organizations. So like Dina said, if there's a group of students who feel like they're not represented in the current student organization list and want to start a new organization or restart an organization that may have gone dormant, those opportunities are there. So this list is certainly not exclusive of the groups that are represented. And when you get here on campus in the fall, if you feel like, yeah, there's some great organizations, but they don't quite touch on what I'm looking for, and either other students like me, you can always propose to the Student Bar Association a new organization. And that's how organizations like the Minority Law Student Association came about. So thank you, Dina, for bringing up some important points.
Yeah, and
Next,
it was really quick. It
go
was
ahead.
very easy to start a new organization on campus for those who are interested. And I think this year we had like the most new organizations on campus. So, but I will leave my
Absolutely.
email in the chat because I might have to hop off soon.
Great. Thank you so much. Next, I have Maria.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria, and I represent the Asian Law Students Association. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Sorry, I don't know. Okay, there we go. Okay, so just really quickly about me. My name is Maria. I'm the vice president of ALSA, the Asian Law Students Association. I'm a 3L regular division student, so I'll be graduating in May. I went to Penn State for undergrad. I currently live in Westchester, Pennsylvania, but I'm from upstate New York, like Albany. I'll be taking the Pennsylvania bar exam, working in Philly post-grad, doing employment law. So if you have any questions on that, please feel free to ask me. I am a staff editor for the Delaware Journal of Corporate Law and also judicial extern for the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit and vice president of training and recruitment for Moot Court. So those are just my other extracurricular activities. But prior to law school, I was a paralegal. And I thought to myself, well, I can make attorney money, so I'll go to law school. Okay, so very quickly about ALSA. The Asian Law Students Association, commonly referred to as ALSA, is an SBA org, or a Student Bar Association org that celebrates Asian culture. We do a lot of events throughout the years, but we always do a karaoke fundraiser each semester. Last semester, the proceeds went to the Community Legal Aid Society, or CLASSY, the local one here in Delaware. And previous years, it's gone to the Asian Law Caucus, things like that. So a little bit about ALSA's mission. We are dedicated to legal scholarship and cultural awareness at Delaware Law School. We invite all students from all walks of life to share in our culture and embrace the togetherness, as is common in many Asian cultures. And our goal is to bring cultural awareness to the student body at Delaware Law School, and the legal community as a whole, representing a diverse group of people, advancing various interests of the AAPI community. And of course, to join Asian Law Students Association, you do not have to be Asian. We welcome everyone. And as Dina said, we did do a collaboration event with them last year, for the multicultural potluck, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, and so this is our executive board, just in case they all couldn't be here, but that's them. And a few events that we hosted this past semester was the ALSA's Declassified School Survival Guide. I don't know if you guys know Ned's Declassified, the Nickelodeon show, but it was kind of like a 1L survival guide, what to do, what to ask professors, like what to ask your TAs, things like that. It was a lot of fun, and we had sushi there. And then this was a new event that we started. It was Practice Makes Professional. So we had members of the legal community in collaboration with, I believe, LALSA, the 8%, SBA, and other, forgive me, I might be forgetting a few of the organizations, but it was a collaboration event. And we had legal professionals come and talk about, like what to say during an interview, things like that for your summer internships. And this was held at Barristers. And we did like mock interviews, things like that. So it was a lot of fun. And then we also are karaoke, and our karaoke is held at Home Base, which is the bar literally right next to campus. It's walking distance. There's you don't even have to go on the road. You can just go through the bushes. But it's a karaoke event, and it's a lot of fun. I'm Filipino, and we love karaoke, so I was up there. But yeah, this is the whole board right here, and we had a lot of fun. And then lastly, we had our Lunar New Year event. We had one of our professors who is like a mental wellness. It was Professor Millar. She does like mental wellness, and she came and spoke, and then we all lit up lanterns and had a good time. But yeah, basically, the Asian Law Students Association, we just want to make everyone feel included and heard, and it's just a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun being here all 3 years. And just a plug for, I guess we have an event coming up next week, this Thursday, and this one's about like clerkships, externships, clinics, and like public interest things. So those, we'd like to have fun, but we also have lots of like networking events as well. But yeah, thank you. Sorry. So
Thank you, Maria. And just to plug, since she mentioned the board, the president of ALSA is Sochita Chang. Some of you might know her because she's also a student ambassador in the admissions office and has been calling a lot of the admitted applicants to welcome them. So you may have gotten a phone call from Sochita as well, but she and Maria are the leaders of ALSA, and we're grateful to both of them and their efforts. Next, I have Jimmy Lynn. Ooh, I think she might be experiencing technical difficulties. Are you able to, you're having trouble unmuting, Jimmy Lynn? Oh, there you
I
go.
got it. Hello, everyone. My name is Jemima Alicia Morris. I'm the president of Women Law Caucus here at Delaware Law School. I am from Delco, Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia. I went to Penwood High School, and for college, I went to Temple University. I studied criminal justice with an intention to come to law school and do work in criminal law. Women Law Caucus is a club dedicated to the women of our law school. No matter their racial background, we're here for all women. We're here to support them, create space where they feel comfortable, and create a community for all women at the law school. Of course, men are definitely allowed. We allow people of all gender. We're very inclusive. But the reason the club was founded was because women were a very tiny percentage of lawyers, and we wanted them to feel included, wanted them to feel like they have a community, which they do, and just to help push them along. Oh, I didn't say this, but I'm a 3L and I will be graduating in May. I've ran WLC for 2 years now, and our main goal is, like I said earlier, inclusion and community. One of our community service is a clothing closet here at the law school where we supply professional clothing to the law students. This year we spice up the closet a little bit. We have a lot more shoes. We even have hair ties, hair clips. We're going to add a little bit more things, but it's just you walk in, you take what you need, a nice quick shop for everyone. For any professional events, we have clothing for men, women, all sizes. If you need something, that's where you go. One of our events that we have coming up is the celebration of Widener Women, where we celebrate all of the women at the law school, alumni, graduating class, and professors. This is going to be an annual event where we just, and it is Women's Month, so we're here to cheer on. We don't really have um, specific events every semester. We do a few networking events like the women, the celebration of Widener Women, where we have alumni coming in. We do events like that. We did an event earlier this semester where we talked about the election event and how it's going to affect everyone. The election of 2024 and how it is presently affecting everyone. I think previously we did an event about how it would be affecting everyone. So we have a wide range of topics. We also do a Valentine's Day event. We do legal bingo, which is a fun way to review legal topics before midterms. Just a lot of fun get together events. We also do, oh, this is one of our favorite events. Like a lot of people show up and they love these events. We do vision boards every January. We have a vision board night. It's just a good time to come and hang out with the girls and de stress because law school can be a little bit stressful. So when you come in, look out for the Women Law Caucus event. We're always here to give you community and help you relax and de stress through your years at law school. I'm going to put my email in the chat, of course, and reach out if you need anything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mylan. I appreciate it. And then I think last but not least is Paula.
Good evening, everyone. First off, I'm so excited to see so many of y'all, and I'll be even more excited to welcome you on campus in the fall. Bear with me while I share my screen. Okay, so my name is Paola Arredondo. Hometown, I'm from Dalton, Georgia. Undergrad, I went to Delaware State University where I majored in criminal justice with a minor in law studies. Currently, my legal interest is in estate planning with a focus in asset protection and generational wealth transfer. And I am here to talk to you about an org that is near and dear to my heart, and that is the Latin American Law Students Association. This year, I had the privilege of serving as the vice president, and I am the incoming president for the 2026-2027 academic school year. Getting started here. Our mission statement. So the mission of LALSA is to foster a supportive and inclusive community for Latinx law students and allies, promote awareness of issues affecting Latinx communities, and provide academic, professional, and cultural enrichment to its members and the broader law school community. And I like to emphasize, and reason for bolding and underlining the last part there is because, like the rest of the affinity groups mentioned, you don't have to be Latinx to be part of our organization. It's open to the entire Delaware Law School community. If you like good food, we have great food at our events. That's reason enough to be part of our org. So please feel free to join. We are one of the most active orgs on campus. Let's see here. So who are we? As I mentioned, a leading student organization at Delaware Law School dedicated to building community, belonging, and empowerment for Latinx students and allies. We are a space where students can grow into leaders through meaningful involvement in programming, advocacy, mentorship, and executive board opportunities. We have a professional and social network that provides access to alumni, attorneys, and career opportunities, helping members navigate law school and succeed beyond it. We're an organization committed to uplifting one another, creating opportunities, and ensuring our members feel seen, supported, and set up for success. In other words, we use the term familia, family, very often. That's how we like to think of our organization and our members. Especially if you're not from Delaware, we can be that family away from family. So for our programming and signature events, I selected a few of the many we have throughout an academic year. Starting off with academic and career opportunities, we have Ponte las Pilas, which is essentially an academic support series. We try to have at least one per semester. So for example, many of you will be taking property in the fall semester, so we'll select, for example, property and go over some tips, study tips. We'll share our outlines. Um, and we also have several panels with attorneys, judges, and legal professionals, networking events with LASA alumni across multiple practice areas, and lots of career conversations and mentorship opportunities. Moving on to community and cultural engagement, we are big on community service and giving back to our community. So you will be able to have several opportunities to give back and get some community service hours in. We have multiple social events that build lasting friendships and support networks. And we love to collaborate with other student organizations across campus, many of who are on this Zoom today. And for our signature LASA events, I highlighted our top four, which include the Hispanic Heritage Dinner, which is often in the fall semester. We gather and just eat really good food. This year we had a fire dancer, which I will show a picture of in the next slide. We have our legal career fair, which you can see on the picture in this slide. We've been growing as we had our second annual this year, and we started off in 2025 with 18 employers, 13 of which hired our students, which is a great number. This year we had 26 employers at the event. We went from 104 registered students to 165. Many of whom are currently still in communication with those employers and securing internships and jobs for the summer and post graduation. We have carne asada in the spring, which is just a time to decompress right before finals, and one of my personal favorites, which is the Ceremonia de Raíces. It's the event honoring our graduating 3Ls, where we get to stole and give them their cords and really highlight all their accomplishment, which is graduating law school. Here are some pictures. Fire dancer, as I promised, is in the center. I don't know how we made that happen, but it happened and it was great. That was a real fire. We've had panels this year. We had diversity in the legal profession, which luckily it was filled with entirely of women, so that was amazing. I know also was part of it, Women's Law Caucus, BALSA, and so forth. Now, joining LAWSA, again, it's open to all students. There's no dues. And among all the other opportunities I mentioned throughout this presentation, you'll be able to vote in elections and on organizational matters, be eligible to apply for executive board positions. You'll have access to Twin, which is essentially our outline bank. The only outlines allowed on our Twin page are if you got a B plus in that specific course. You'll be able to receive LAWSA branded materials. You'll have leadership opportunities, access to a strong professional network, including our alumni, attorneys, and judges in the legal community, mentorship and peer support, and overall advocacy for Latinx representation in the legal field. And here are some QR codes for you. Our Instagram is the white QR code. You can stay up to date with all our upcoming events. We do try to have something in the summer. And also you'll have our Group Me QR code where we send out a lot of information. So feel free to join. We have had a lot of issues with like bots and like fake accounts. So it'll probably ask you reason for joining LAWSA or the Group Me. You can just put the event name of today, which is Inclusion and Belonging at Delaware Law School, and I'll go ahead and accept you. And you'll start receiving a lot of information about the organization and events that we'll be having. And I will also be sharing my email in the chat if anybody has any questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Paula. Before I open it up to questions, I wanted to circle back actually to Yasmin for two things. When you were talking, you mentioned the Black Alumni Network, but I don't think you actually talked about who they are or how they work with BALSA. Did you want to mention them and talk a little more about BAN?
Yeah, so the Black Alumni Network, like I said, they're all graduates from Widener Delaware Law School. They pretty much keep in contact through us, but what we do offer is a mentor. We usually send out a form. You'll be paired with an attorney who is either around your region or is in the area of law you're interested in. You can be able to set up time to meet with them. They're really open. I know a lot of people, someone on our board actually got an internship through her band mentor. And then also Ben also comes to our professionalism month. They help put it together. That's where we have a series of different events like the fashion show, headshots, and blue booking for our writing skills. But yeah.
Great, thank you. And I'm on the University Scholarship Committee, and I can also let you know that the Black Alumni Network also funds two scholarships every year for a rising student who is a member of BALSA. So they also provide financial support as well. There are a couple affinity groups that are not represented tonight. They weren't able to send a leader. One of them, again, I'm going to call on Yasmin because she can speak about them, is the 8%. So I wanted to ask if you could just say a little bit about who they are as well.
Yeah, so 8%, the president Ariel, she isn't here, but she's a 3L. She'll be graduating this year. But 8%, their mission is to create a safe space for women of color as they continue in their professional legal career. So it's tailored specifically to the women of color. It's called 8% because they are 8% of the lawyer population. But yeah, they host several different events. There's actually an event this week where they're showing, I think it's Hidden Figures. They do movie nights, they do different stuff, little giveaways. It's really just like a little cozy, like girl, like Women's Law Caucus. It's something for the girls.
Thank you so much. The other two organizations are Outlaw, which is our LGBTQ plus organization on campus, and then the First Generation Law Student Society, which is fairly large. First Gen, I think about 85% of our student body are First Gen Law, and about a third of our students are First Gen College. So it's a pretty large organization. So if you have any interests or questions about Outlaw or First Gen, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to put you in touch with a student member. And with that, I want to let all of you speak. If any of you have questions for any of our student leaders about their organization or anything about their experience at Delaware Law, this is a good and intimate time to ask those questions. So you can put it in the chat or you can raise your virtual hand and unmute and ask a question. We'll start with Amy. You have a question.
Hey everyone, thanks for an awesome presentation. I just wanted to understand how accessible events for the different affinity groups are for evening students. I'll be coming in part-time evening.
That's a great question. Who wants to jump in? Maybe Paula, you said you have quite a few organizations. I'm sorry, quite a few events on campus.
Yeah, so usually the way we handle events is we check the evening division schedule and we try to accommodate in between those hours. So we definitely look at that prior to the event so we can plan accordingly. Accordingly, of course, it doesn't always work out, but we try our best to be accommodating to the evening division students.
And I'm assuming evening division students are welcome to join any of your affinity group organizations as well.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else want to add anything about inclusion with our part-time students?
Sure, I'll jump in. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
For the Asian Law Students Association, we like to try to plan the break between the daytime and nighttime. So it'll be usually right before the beginning of our event will start right before evening division students start their classes. And of course, if you need to step away to go to class, that's totally fine. The food usually runs out by in the beginning anyway, so you want to come on time. But yeah, we like to try to start our events typically like 5:30 or 6. And I know evening division classes start around 6:30. So you have like that good like half an hour, 45 minutes to experience our organization.
Great. Thank you, Maria. It's a great question. Other questions people have for our students? Yes, Ariana.
Hello. I have a question. So are you able to join more than one organization, or you wouldn't recommend it, like, because honestly everything sounds so cool to me. So I was just wondering, obviously, like, if you can do more than one, or if there's a student that is in more than one organization.
That's, I think, a great question. I mean, technically, you can join as many as you want, but I'm sure our student leaders have some great advice on how to manage that. Who wants to jump in? Yasmin?
I'll definitely say I recommend joining multiple orgs because just gaining different perspective from different students. Like I'm not of Latin heritage, but you'll catch me at almost every LAWSA event. I'll come to some also. Like it's just everyone just mingles around. It's just gaining resources, and everyone's so kind enough to share. So I definitely do recommend to join as many orgs as possible, but still academics first.
Also, just to add to that, would definitely recommend joining whichever organizations you're a part of, especially the affinity groups. Joining all of those is great. It's a few of us, so we like to stick together and often collaborate. So you'll have an opportunity, even if you're not part of a certain org, eventually to experience those events with the collaborations that we do.
And that is a good point. You don't necessarily have to be a member of an organization to attend an event. It's open to all students. I think in the fall semester, when you look at all the student organizations, there were over 70 events that were hosted. It is impossible to go to everything, but they are open to everyone. Other advice anybody has about joining student organizations? Okay, that was a great question.
Thank
Yes,
you. Thanks
Jamila.
so much.
I was just gonna add, to be a member of a student org, you just need to attend 2 events per semester, or it's over the year. So if you attend one event in the spring, one event in the fall, like you've reached membership status. And some events are on Zoom, which makes things so much easier.
Very good to know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Other questions for our student leaders about their orgs or, again, life in general at Delaware Law? I do have a question, actually. I wanted to ask the student leaders. I'm curious how you first found out that these organizations existed, how you knew that they were there, and how you came about joining them. I'm curious how students find out about you.
Oh, I will jump in really quickly.
Yes.
In the fall, the Student Bar Association hosts Table Day, and it's like all of our organizations, every SBA org, not just the affinity groups, but they have tables there, and you can ask the executive board questions. You can sign up for membership. That's how I found out about the Asian Law Students Association. Highly recommend your first year or your second year or your third year to go, and you can learn all about all the orgs. I think they also have like the career development offices there, other administrative offices are there, so highly recommend.
Very good. Other students who want to chime in how they first heard or knew to join these organizations that you're now leading?
Mine was actually
Paula.
through orientation. I think you guys were giving out like a pamphlet or a book of the different organizations we had. So I had already identified LAWSA, but I met the people of LAWSA at Table Day, and I kind of just got drawn by them by the loud music that they were playing in Maine Law. So I was like, I found my people, and that's how I joined.
Very good to know. Thank you. Yes, we do provide information with your orientation packets as well. I was hoping one of you would say, "Oh, I learned about it from this event last year when I came as an admitted." But you're all three, Al, so it's been a while. You probably forgot. Yasmin, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I'll chime in off of Paula. I actually heard about Bolsa through orientation. I met Ty, our old president. She was actually standing outside of our orientation, like pulling students, like to let them know about Bolsa. And we kind of bonded over the fact that we wanted that home Bolsa community, Black community, especially we both came from HBCU. So it was something I bonded with her over, and then we just built that connection over the semester. So that's how I kind of got incorporated with the org.
Awesome. Thank you. Any other questions people have for our students? All right, we'll end a little early. I want to ask each of our students in maybe 30 seconds or less, if you could think of one thing that you wish you knew as an incoming student that would have helped. I think that's great advice. And I didn't prepare them ahead of time telling this, so they're all on the spot. But I think it's great. They're all so good as student leaders, but they're all accomplished academic students. I think there's a wealth of information here. So I'm going to start with Jamilin. If you have 30 seconds or less, a piece of advice you wish you had known as a 1L that would have helped.
Um, everything works out. Everything, everything works out. Uh, Run your own race. When you're a 1L, a lot of people, you're kind of focusing on too many things. Don't focus on who has the highest grade or who has the lowest grade. Good for them. God bless them. They're going to be fine. Run your own race. Focus on yourself. Focus on getting where you need. Focus on getting yourself where you need to get yourself. Study the way that works best for you. A lot of times we get a lot of advice from everybody else. We study this way, we do it this way. If that doesn't work for you, it's okay. You don't have to follow the crowd. It's okay being alone sometimes. You got this. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna make it through. It's all going to work out.
As excellent advice. Thank you. Grace, what's your piece of advice for your 1L self?
So, Jamie Lynn kind of copied what I was going to say, but I was going to say you can't compare yourself to anyone else. This is your own journey. Um, so you just have to be mindful. Yes, do your homework and make sure you study and make sure you're doing your readings, but also make sure you're doing something that makes you happy, whether it's hanging out with your friends or going on walks or working out. Like, don't lose yourself because you're doing something that's really hard. And something that I always like to think about is if it was easy, everyone would do it. So you're in a very unique and exciting and special position right now to be starting this journey. And you should be super proud of yourself every single day. So
Excellent advice. Thank you. Paula, what's your piece of advice?
I have two. For the summer, rest. Don't try to don't try to catch up on your course materials or get ahead of what property is. Rest, sleep, enjoy your summer. And once you start, I always say discipline, consistency, and purpose. It's a marathon. You're gonna be introduced to a new way of thinking, a new way of learning. If you want to get ahead of the game, my only piece of advice is maybe figure out your study habit. Because I have found that even though hard work is important, being efficient is a lot more rewarding. And other than that, we're all in it. I've made it. I had the what's that called? When you feel you don't belong in your first year. But I'm a 2L
Imposter
now,
syndrome.
and yes, imposter syndrome. Like that was extremely normal, but you'll get through it. It's a marathon, remember that, and be proud that you're here.
Thank you, Paula. Maria, what's your piece of advice?
I will piggyback off of Paula. Actually, I'll say you're here for a reason. You got into law school for a reason. I struggled a lot with imposter syndrome as well. So I think the best what yeah, just, talk to your peers, talk to the people in your section, talk to your professors, talk to your TAs, whoever it may be. Use your resources and just like make sure you stay connected. That human connection is really important, especially when you're, reading like three different classes in one night and you're like, what's a contract? I don't even know anymore. So definitely make sure you have a good study group. As Eric mentioned earlier, so Cheetah, she's in my study group. We came up from 1L together, and now, we're president and vice president of ALSA, so it's great. But yeah, make friends and just honestly, at the end of the day, it's have fun. It's I know law school is not supposed to be fun, but try and have some fun.
Excellent advice. And finally, Yasmin, your advice for us.
everybody kind of touched on everything I was going to say, but I'll reiterate a couple things. I would say in the beginning, it kind of feels like you're bombarded with a lot of information, a lot of advice. Everyone wants to give you a tip. Take it with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, you know yourself. You know what works best for you. People you just met do not. They're just giving you what works best for them. So take it with a grain of salt. Take care of your mental health. Your mental health always comes first. Being a student, law school gets a lot sometimes. So if it comes to that time, you just need to put that book down, take an hour just to decompress and to get back to normal. It's okay. Everyone needs to give themselves grace at times. So don't be afraid to do that. Have fun. Um, at the end of the day, always remember what that end goal was. Law school can test you sometimes, but remembering why you came here and remembering that you should be here, you'll
Mhm.
you'll get there. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. I want to just say for all of our student leaders tonight, the advice that you provided, the welcoming community that you're offering to our students. I appreciate you all so much being here, letting them know who we are. I think that our dean and our faculty and staff pride ourselves on being a very inclusive and welcoming law school, but really the hard work is done by the students. Without them, it wouldn't matter. So the community that you've created, I appreciate that. And our first year students coming this fall, if they don't already know it, will appreciate it as well. Thank you all for coming tonight. Again, I hope we'll see you on Thursday. Heather Hope just put the registration link in the chat. So if you can join us Thursday for the student law experience with Dean Ferris, more great information and advice. And of course, come on Friday to Community Day, see us in person and learn more about us. But with that, I will wish you all a great evening and hope to see you all very soon. Thank you very much.